Welcome back to Cooking for the Hungry. I'm Papa, and I am cooking for the hungry. Today we're going to make my pie crust, which is folded several times and make it nice and flaky. You may have seen my pie I made the other day. It was made with some store-bought pie crust because I didn't want to take the time to make that. But today I'm going to make my pie crust. I'm going to get out all my ingredients and I'll show you. And once it's done in the refrigerator for about 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to pull it out and we're going to make cherry pie. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, well, you will see that I am fortunate enough to have a dough blade and a mixer, but if you don't have those things, you can use a masher or a large fork to cut the shortening in, and you want to do it slowly so that you get all of it into the flour as much as possible before you start adding some cold water. So I have some extra flour here. I have 2 cups of flour here. I got a half teaspoon of salt. I got ice water. I got a spoon to help me mix this stuff around. And I have the shortening. Mine is melted, you'll see. But because I'm using a mixer, it's more apt to mix in better. So let's take a look here. Got to have my fork and my ladle and my spatula. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and pour the flour in. And I'm going to go ahead and pour the salt in. And now I think I'll just use my ladle instead of a spoon, my spatula. I'll mix that around so that the salt gets in it good. Any kind of dry ingredients you got most of the time whenever you're doing something with baking, you mix in the powder stuff first and the dry stuff before you add anything else. There we go, real quick like. I think we're ready to go there. I'm going to add my attachment on. Okay, that's locked in. Put that down. And then I'm going to lock it in, put it on low. All of this has to go in, so I'm running it around the edges. Alright, I use my spatula to run it off the sides down into the area it mixes. You gotta be careful because it's not recommended by kids, for kids. There we go. It's cutting in now pretty good. Really don't have much dry area. Into the flour really good. I like to make sure I want this to be even for my crust. Alright, that's cut in pretty good. Now I want to add I just use my big spoon here if I had a dish, but I am going to pour. I'm just going to pour a couple of tablespoons in there to begin with. And work that in. And a little bit wetter now. I'm going to work in a little bit more. You don't want to put too much in at one time, because you want it at a certain point, you don't want to overdo it. You just want it to ball up. A little bit more. I think we about got it. Got a little piece there. I think we about got a little bit more. I had about a half a cup there, so that's cold water. That's ice cold water. So whatever I did warming up the shortening, that ice water cooled it down. It's balled up pretty good now. I think I'm going to shut it off. Pull the fork up. Balled up pretty good. I'm going to leave it there for just a second. Alright, I'm over here on the other side of the stove now. And we're getting ready to fold the dough a couple of times. And then we're going to roll it up in a ball and put it in the refrigerator. These are handy dandy. They don't cost much. You can get them down at the discount store. They're just a layout mat, so you can work with flour and different types of things. And you can see I'm going to kind of dust it a little bit. We don't want nothing sticking, so just kind of wiping it around a little bit. There you go. All right. I got the dough kind of balled up here. I'm going to lay it out. Now I'm going to press it out in a big cake here. And then I'm going to cut it in half. Anything I use a little flour on it. Let's see, right about there. As you can see, I'm not using regular flour. This has got a little bit of whole wheat in it, but that's the way I like it. You don't have to do that. Now, got it cut in half. I'm going to dust her out a little bit more. I'm going to press this thing out quite a bit here. I'm going to start folding it. I'm not going to add a bunch more flour to the area I'm working on. You can see me, I'm pressing it out and folding it. This is one of the tricks to getting a flaky pie that really is flaky. A lot of people claim it, but they don't own the fame to it. Pressing that out. People say, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm taking and folding those edges in like like that. I'll press it out one more time a little bit. Now I'm going to take and ball it up into a ball. Get it worked a little bit so that there ain't a whole lot of cracks in it and stuff. And I'm going to put it over here. Let me pull this out here so you can see it. Some saran wrap, plastic wrap. I'm just going to line it up like that. You got this one and this one. What I'm going to do is lay this in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. And when it's done, we'll come back and get this rolled out and get it going. And then we'll start talking about my cherry pie, the other part of this. All right. All right, I went ahead and laid everything out here. There's 2 strips of plastic wrap underneath, and I got a little bit of flour dusted on it, and then I've got 2 more strips overlapped on the top, and there's a little bit of flour on top of that. And I'm going to roll out, this is my bottom crust, so go ahead and start that. You see, I'm probably going to work it from a 3 o'clock. One quarters of the clock. Keep it round. And I'm going for the whole circle because for a 9-inch plate, I gotta have area to come up the sides. The top crust won't need to be so wide. That's why I made more for the bottom than I did for the top. It's starting to, you want to try to keep it from separating. It's cold. I just took it out of the refrigerator. See, I'm working that around. Oops. We're getting it there. We're just about there, actually. You'll see how nice it is to do it this way. That's just about there. Looks pretty good. I think I'm going to stop right there. Now, alright, on this I do not dust it. I just add a little bit of vegetable oil. Spray vegetable oil is pretty nice. I'll set this right here. Pull off the top layer. Peel that right off. And then now I'm going to take this, put my hand under it like that. Put my plate right here. I'm just going to kind of lay it over on there like that. Now, this is still stuck to it, so I can play with it a little bit with the plastic. a little. A little more. Get it over this way a little more. There we go. I can kind of press on stuff without pressing on the actual dough itself. I've got the corners down at the bottom in there good. Peel off this top layer here. How about that? Now we're going to bring this thing, we're just going to kind of pinch it around the edges a little bit. And if you watched my other pie the other day, you know that I got a 3-finger roll method. See these 3 fingers? I go like this, 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 work my way around. It's a little shy on this side, but it's okay because the top will lay right over that. Now, I'll take me a butter knife real quick and just saw it down as I go along. With this dough, you can use to repair anything that you want. I can go over here and add some more on this edge, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm repairing that edge a little bit. Nothing wrong with fixing the problem. Here. This will be a nice flaky crust. I think that'll do. Now, take me a fork and work my way around it like this. That keeps the holes from rising up in the middle. It may anyway, but we lay those down as soon as we get it out of the oven. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'll come back once it's out of the oven and I got the cherry pie filling ready. Then we'll move into part 2. We'll roll out the top, put the pie filling in, roll out the top and put it on and get it in the bake. So I'll be back for part 2.